watching the News Hour Special Edition.
He spent over 50 hours in the custody of Pakistan, and less than 50 hours since his return to India, politics has peaked over this brave pilot. While some political parties are rushing to take credit for him, others are still in denial mode. From the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party to all the major opposition parties across the nation, our Netas are busy politicizing acts of supreme bravado. Take a look at this report.
He stood firm with courage in the face of adversities. Wing Commander Abhinandan displayed unparalleled valour when he went in for a dogfight to defend India's territory. But days after the brave pilot's return, Netas scampered to take credit for his bravery.
यूपीए के समय में क्या कुछ नहीं हुआ, उसमें एक ये बड़ी बात ये हुई कि एक ऐसा वीर जवान जो यूनिफॉर्म में आया और यूनिफॉर्म में आकर देश के लिए सशक्त रूप से तैयार हुआ, ये इतिहास की सच्चाई है। उनको क्या कमीशन और विंग्स उनको यूपीए के समय नहीं मिले? अगर मिले तो सच्चाई है।
तो यूपीए भी क्रेडिट लेना चाहिए।
मैंने क्रेडिट कहाँ लिया? ये शब्द क्रेडिट आप कहाँ से ले आए?
Khurshid's attempts to politicize and then brazen it out drew sharp criticism from the centre.
These Congress people can go even backwards and say that he was born during the Congress rule, because most of the time it is the Congress party which has been at the helm of affairs in India. So obviously, Abhinandan must have been born during the Congress rule, so they can take credit for that.
While some rushed to claim the brave pilot as their own, other leaders were busy casting aspersions on India's strike against Pakistan.
तो जिस तरह का प्रमाण अमेरिका की सरकार ने उसामा बिन लादेन के बारे में पूरे विश्व को दिया, उस तरह का प्रमाण हमको भी देना चाहिए.
If this kind of a counter statement comes universally, then it becomes our duty in the circumstances to authenticate our claim.
But the chorus demanding proof was punctured by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at an election rally.
कांग्रेस के नेता, उसके सहयोगी दलों के नेता ऐसे बयान दे रहे हैं जिससे देश के विरोधियों को फायदा हो रहा है.
As the polls draw near, political parties are busy trying to woo the voters in every possible way. But is it fair to our brave soldiers to be reduced to mere political pawns? Bureau Report, Times Now.
You're watching the News Hour Special Edition, Debate #1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And for more of the story, I want to go right across to our guests who are joining us live at this moment. Syed Zafar Islam, spokesperson of the BJP, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, is with us. We also have with us Major General G.D. Bakshi, defence expert. Ravi Srivastava, political analyst, is joining us from Mumbai. Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, is also with us. We also have Rahul Chakrabarti, political analyst, joining us from Kolkata. I want to first go across to Ashutosh Mishra. Ashutosh Mishra, it's very shocking, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going to restrict myself to any one political party today, because I believe that all political parties, all our national parties and regional parties are unfortunately politicizing and trying to claim credit when it comes to the supreme bravado that Wing Commander Abhinandan has very clearly demonstrated. And I want to ask you, Ashutosh Mishra, why should Salman Khurshid even refer to the fact that he was commissioned as a fighter pilot in 2004? He denies that it is claiming credit, but isn't it very obvious what Salman Khurshid is trying to do, Ashutosh?
I totally agree with you, Madhav, that the politicians should not try to take credit for what our armed forces are doing, because armed forces, their valor has not been questioned by the nations, and they are the only people in the country whom everybody trusts. But the problem here is that what was started by the Prime Minister, who is using the shoulders of Wing Commander Abhinandan to fire at his opponents, has sort of, other leaders are also seem to have fallen into that trap. And while Mr. Khurshid might have been trying to let us say that he felt proud, but it shouldn't have happened, and I totally agree with you.
But the question is, but Ashutosh Mishra, I will of course question this to the BJP spokesperson as well. But does this justify? Does the fact that one political party's leader is engaging in what we consider as incorrect behavior, can two wrongs ever make a right?
You have to look at the difference in what is being said. For example, there are some leaders who are saying that there are unverified reports, and as a journalist we know that we should not trust unverified reports. Even Mr. S.S. Ahluwalia, who is a minister, raised this point that these reports being printed in media talking about this number, that number. So what is the way to settle that? The only, and our defense forces, when the armed forces and the three their representatives.
So what do the numbers have to do anything with what Abhinandan has done, sir?
The does not want the detail.
The numbers have nothing to do with what Abhinandan and his supreme bravado that he has demonstrated is concerned. Ashutosh Mishra, why are you deliberately mixing up issues? I don't understand.
Why this question is being coming up again and again is that there are a lot of things being said. And the government should settle it once and for all, so that the people know what the actual facts are.
Okay, I'm going to get into that debate later. I'm going to get into the debate about settling the facts right, putting the record on straight later. I want to first question all political party leaders today, because I think the citizens of this country who know that there is an election are feeling, unfortunately, that the bravado of our security forces is what our political leaders are actually trying to gleam off in this election season. Syed Zafar Islam, if Salman Khurshid is to be criticized for referring to 2004, why should the leaders of the BJP not be criticized for doing the same? At the end of the day, while you may be the party in power, while you may go to the people claiming credit for whatever actions you have taken as the government, this is the bravado and the action of our armed forces. Why should political parties try to claim credit for this, Syed Zafar Islam?
Absolutely, no political party should take the claim, and no political party should actually take away all the credit what needs to be given to the armed forces. Let me tell you what is important for all of us to realize, that we are talking that there was a lack of leadership, the political will which has been given by the Honorable Prime Minister, and the country is feeling safe, and the morale of the armed forces is very high purely because there is a government who believes in giving full freedom to armed forces, and also ensure that their morale needs to be boosted by giving them complete freedom, as well as giving them the desired approval or direction for conducting such kind of surgical strike or air strike. And that makes the differentiation between or differentiate us between us and other political parties. And also, let me tell you one thing, that all the political parties and their heads, they are speaking about something or the other, and there is a sense of insecurity or trying to demoralize the armed forces. And I must tell you, these are people who are actually working to safeguard the interests of the Pakistan, enemy country, rather than boosting the morale of
no, there is a difference.
Mr. Zafar,
I want to come in over here. I want to come in over here. Yes, I want to come in over here. Syed Zafar Islam makes a point, Ashutosh, that at the end of the day, while you are politically, you are an opposition party, you have every right to come out and make statements. At the end of the day, look at the kind of response that we're seeing from Pakistan's side. They have time and again made use of statements that have come in from opposition leaders, and I'm going to quote some of them, in fact, that are there out in the public domain as well, where they have actually said this, where they have actually come out and used the statement. And in fact, let me also put this question right back to Syed Zafar Islam. Syed Zafar Islam, when Yediyurappa said that airstrikes will help us win more than 22 Lok Sabha seats, it is the PTI's official handle that retweeted this particular statement of BS Yediyurappa, coming out to say that we told you so, that all this is being done with elections. So while you're quick to criticize opposition parties for giving a handle to Pakistan, what about your own party's leader, sir? What does Mr. Yediyurappa mean? What business does he have coming out and saying that this will lead to 22 Lok Sabha seats victory for the BJP?
Absolutely. And see, the party's stand is absolutely clear that whatever he said, he shouldn't have spoken first. The Honorable Party President, Mr. Amit Shah ji, has already condemned it, and he has also clarified that about 22 seats. He was speaking not only after the airstrike, but even in the past he had spoken about 22 seats. So the party has taken a stand and said that what he said was wrong. Can the other political parties in their head make the same statement that whatever I have said and whatever the other political parties, chief of the political parties have said, all the senior leaders of the other political parties have said, has actually,
okay, one at a time, gentlemen, please.
Have become the headlines of Pakistan television.
Okay, once again, Ashutosh, let him finish his statement and then I'm going to let you respond. Zafar, finish your point in 30 seconds, please, very quickly. I have to go across to other guests after that as well.
Madhav, can I come in now?
One second, gentlemen, one at a time, please.
We had the courage. We had the courage. If somebody has made a statement, we had the courage to say. The party president had the courage to say that the statement made by him is incorrect, and he's spoken not once, many times, and in public forum he has spoken.
Okay.
It was a incorrect statement and he shouldn't have spoken. And
Okay. Zafar Islam, you made your point. I want to quickly go across to General G.D. Bakshi before I go across to Ashutosh Mishra as well. General G.D. Bakshi today, but the way we are seeing our opposition leaders and even some elements in the ruling parties come out and make such irresponsible statements, linking our politics, linking our votes, linking the number of Lok Sabha seats to what has transpired as far as this Air Force action is concerned. How do you look at it as a soldier? Because it seems that ultimately for our politicians, it's only politics that matters. The supreme bravery, the valor, the sacrifice that is made by our armed forces just doesn't seem to matter. It's all about votes at the end of the day.
Beta, I'd like to ask you a simple question. Why are we today on the brink of a war? Is it because of Pulwama? Pulwama was the last straw that broke the camel's back. We are not into this because of Pulwama. Are we on this crisis because of Wing Commander Abhinandan? He was a collateral damage of this war. When all this, or this conflict, when all this started, nobody knew that he would be captured.
Yes. General G.D. Bakshi, I beg your indulgence for just a moment, sir. We are breaking pictures coming in of the Prime Minister chairing the meeting of the National Security Council in New Delhi this evening. This is a picture that has just come in. I just want to share this with our viewers before we go back to our guests. Just look at the who's who of the defense establishment and security brass of India who are present over there. The Prime Minister present on his side is, of course, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Home Minister Rajnath Singh, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, as well as National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, who is present, as well as the Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale, who is also present at that particular meeting. So clearly, of course, a very significant meeting that is taking place. India, we must remember, has demonstrated and has said several times that the efforts that it is making militarily, politically and diplomatically will not come to an end. India will not cease if Pakistan does not desist from spreading terror from its own soil. Having said that, I want to quickly go back to our guest. Yes, General Bakshi, I'm sorry I had to interrupt you over there with that update. Go ahead, sir.
I am quite impressed to see this photograph. There is a glaring omission. I don't see the three service chiefs. In such a crisis, they are normally invited to attend.
Okay.
In every war, we have had a direct interface between the service chiefs and the highest political authority. This photograph speaks for itself.
All right.
Thank you. Now, I was saying, we are not fighting because of Pulwama. We are not fighting because of Wing Commander Abhinandan. So then what are we fighting for? Sir, we are fighting because in the last 30 years, we have suffered over 80,000 casualties due to Pakistan's unchecked asymmetric wars. How long are the Indian citizens expected to take it on the chin?
Absolutely.
I know we are very, very ordinary people. We are, हम लेकिन क्या नाली के कीड़े हैं या गली के कुत्ते हैं कि हमारी जान की 2 टके की कीमत नहीं है साहब. हम मरे जाएं, कभी कभी थोड़ा सा चें होगी, फिर बंद हो जाएगी, बैठ जाएगी. Are you aware that in 1971 war,
Yes.
You know, on
no, but
3rd
are
of December,
our
what did
patriots just
Pakistan
political
attack
props,
with?
sir?
18
General GD
fighter
Bakshi, that's a
jets
question
in the
that we're
first
asking. Are our braves nothing but political props for our politicians?
Sorry?
The question we are asking, sir, from the statements that we are seeing from our political leaders today, is that this is nothing, are our braves nothing but political props for our political leaders?
Sir, can I please request you, sir? आप सारे सब credit ले लो, sir. Just let us do our job, which is to fight and protect our citizens.
Absolutely.
सारा credit लो, sir. सब लो. We would just like to do our job. Thank you very much. Can you let us do our job, sir? Can you please let us do our job, sir?
Yes.
Take all the credit you want.
Yes, I think this sentiment, this is the sentiment of the forces, and I want opposition leaders who are busy politicizing this entire issue to come in now and also elaborate on this. Ravi Srivastava, the question ultimately is this, that even when Arvind Kejriwal comes out and expresses doubts about the veracity of reports regarding surgical strikes, we saw the response from Pakistan. Why does this repeatedly happen in this country, that we know Pakistan is going to, exploit such statements when it comes to Pakistan, when it comes to Kashmir, when it comes to our armed forces? Why can't there be a little bit of restraint and a unanimous sort of view that is taken by our political parties cutting across lines? How will we take on Pakistan if we are not united, Ravi Srivastava?
If any party is exploiting maximum the valor of the army, it is Bharatiya Janata Party. You can see Mr. Yadurappa that talking about the number of Lok Sabha seats. You have seen today in the rallies, they are carrying the photograph of Wing Commander Abhinandan tied up on a jeep. I mean, this kind of low level they have gone to for exploiting the valor of our army men. Now, as far as Arvind Kejriwal's statement is concerned, let me tell you that Arvind Kejriwal has not even once said after Pulwama that he has got any doubt. Don't use the word doubt here. Anybody has a right to know the truth.
No, I specifically said 2016 surgical strike, sir. I specifically said 2016 surgical strike. Please don't change my statement as well.
350 people have been killed. Somebody says 200 people have been killed. But was there any person killed? You have got Washington Post, you have got Reuters, you have got Guardian, you have got BBC, you have got host of international media which is saying that there was no damage, there was no loss.
So Ravi Srivastava, let me ask you a question. I just put across to Ashutosh Mishra a few moments ago. Does that justify Salman Khurshid coming out and saying that Abhinandan was commissioned as an officer in 2004 under the UPA government? Does that justify a statement like that from Mr. Salman Khurshid, who's been at the very highest levels of government as the External Affairs Minister?
That's a ridiculous kind of a statement because that Wing Commander Abhinandan was born in some Congress government only, because they were only there. So that kind of a stupid statement has got no value.
Okay. I want a quick response from Syed Zafar Islam before I go across to Rahul Chakravarti. Syed Zafar Islam, it is BJP that is politicizing the valor of our armed forces, says the opposition. Respond to that.
How come BJP is politicizing? It is the leader of 21 parties met together and made a statement, did a press conference. Did we politicize? What did they do? They made a statement. Ravi Srivastava, please.
One second, gentlemen.
I didn't interrupt you.
Gentlemen, one at a time. Please, let's not make this a shouting match. I think this is too serious an issue to reduce it to a shouting match, gentlemen. Please. Let Syed Zafar Islam respond, and then I'll get you back into the debate, Ravi Srivastava. Quick response.
I know you are an uncivilized man. Have some civility. All I'm saying that Mr. Rahul Gandhi with 21 parties made a statement, did a press conference only to be found on the headlines of all the television channel in Pakistan. You see what Mamata Banerjee is saying. You see what Sharad Pawar is saying. What the other opposition leaders are saying. All I'm saying, they did not do. Today we are in a mode where the enemy country is actually watching all the political parties and their leaders, and they feel that there is an undivided country while they are united. We are giving a picture of a country where there is no unity. All I'm saying that the morale in such situation, the morale of armed forces has to be boosted rather than they should demoralize them.
No, but then tell me, Syed Zafar Islam, why is it that your party's member of parliament and the Delhi unit chief Manoj Tiwari was seen wearing army fatigues and going around the streets of Delhi as a member of parliament? Is that what we expect from him, Syed Zafar Islam? 1 second, Ravi Srivastav, please. I'm conducting this debate, not you, sir. Please hold on. I haven't asked a question of Syed Zafar Islam. Respond to that.
No, see, independent, no, he is not making statement. Wearing something when there's somebody is thrilled with joys, there is the atmosphere of jubilation that we have been able to liquidate the largest number of terrorists at one go. It is something which has not been able to, other countries has not been able to do, which your country has been able to do. Is something which is an achievement of our armed forces. And why
but
not?
Does that justify wearing a uniform, sir? Come on. We don't see our politicians wearing army fatigues. There's a uniform. There's a reason that men in uniform have a certain respect. And certainly, of course, the fact that our political leaders are wearing it. I think Derek O'Brien has raised a very pertinent point. I'm going to let Rahul Chakravarti come in on this. Rahul Chakravarti, are you convinced by the response of Syed Zafar Islam on this? Rahul Chakravarti. Rahul Chakravarti.
May I? Firstly, I would like to request my co-panelists for a patient hearing, please. I was listening for a long time, so let me clear one thing. Firstly, we all stand for the nation. There's no doubt about it. We are all Indians, and we are with the nation. We are with the Air Force. Firstly, you have told about Mr. Mamata Banerjee about this statement. Mamata Banerjee never wanted the proof. Mamata Banerjee, she wants to know the Prime Minister should have discussed with all the opposition what exactly has happened. That is the main criteria. In democracy, we can question. That doesn't mean if we question the government, I am a Pakistani supporter, and if I question the BJP, I am an anti-nationalist. That doesn't mean that. So this has to be clear. This has to be checked up clearly. What about Mr. Yediyurappa in this case? He's clearly stated for the benefit of Karnataka. What about Mr. Tathagat Rai? As a governor, he has committed a statement for banned Kashmiris. In spite of this statement, he is still in the chair of governor. What they have done? So this has to be checked, and we want the answer. So what about Mr. Surinder Singh Ahluwalia? He is not a member of our party.
No, we have gone through all of this. Rahul Chakrabarti, the issue that we are debating currently is that of Manoj Tiwari, BJP MP and Delhi President. I am reading out the tweet of Derek O'Brien where he says, shameless, 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 Manoj Tiwari wearing armed forces uniform and seeking votes, BJP Modi Shah insulting and politicizing our Jawans and then giving lectures on patriotism, low life. This is the statement that has come in from Derek O'Brien, Rahul Chakravarti. We heard the response coming in from Syed Zafar Islam. I want to quickly get your response on this story.
Let me answer one question. One thing, who has politicized it? We want to stop politics. We don't want to drag Air Force or anything into politics. But what they have done, what they are doing.
I want to quickly bring in General G.D. Bakshi on this. General G.D. Bakshi, when you see a politician who's wearing the uniform and going around, all politicians today are pretty much in campaign mode, but a member of parliament wearing a uniform and going around, visiting people and being seen publicly in this, how does that make you feel, sir, as a soldier? Do you feel that this is a betrayal of men who wear the uniform? Because men who wear the uniform have a special place in our society.
Sir, it is against the law.
Otherwise, I want to come in for once.
Please excuse me. It is against the law for anybody.
Rahul Chakravarti, I have asked you this question now. I want to get in a quick response from G.D. Bakshi, please. Major G.D. Bakshi, go ahead, sir.
It was just a message. The Balkot strike
sir, as far as the law is concerned, can I please leave with this gentleman? Will he let somebody else speak?
Go ahead, sir. General G.D. Bakshi, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Look, what I am saying is, as far as the law is concerned, it is against the law for anybody not authorized to wear the uniform. That is the legal status, sir. You could please check. Now, number two, look, it is the job of the opposition parties to oppose. If they don't oppose the government, they are not doing their job. There is only one caveat here, sir. When a nation is at war, or there is a conflict situation, then I am afraid, sir, in any mature democracy, you all close ranks, and you support the government in its war effort, or as long as the conflict lasts. Once the conflict is over, the opposition is free to ask questions. The opposition is free to demand courts of inquiry, courts of commissions of inquiry, lessons learned, what went right, what went wrong. ये तो होता है after every conflict. But I just want to understand, sir, is the conflict over? Has Prime Minister Modi declared a ceasefire?
Respond to that, Ravi Srivastava. This is very significant.
That, sir.
The dust hasn't settled yet, Ravi Srivastava, and yet we're seeing politics on a day-to-day basis. Look at the statement of 21 political parties just a day after what we saw in terms of the action in Balakot.
He is making the announcements at various places. He is saying the army valour is trying to capitalize on that, which has never happened in the history of India. The first time a Prime Minister is trying to capitalize on the army's valour. That Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi, Bum Bum Modi, what kind of advertisements are they making? They are trying to take advantage at every stage. And you are saying that let us wait till the conflict is over. Yes, let them wait till the conflict is over. Let them also not make the political speeches. Let them not talk about the army's valour. Let them not speak about Wing Commander Abhinandan's return and all that. Let them do it. Why are they not stopping and they are trying to take advantage? Congress or other parties.
General G.D. Bakshi, what Ravi Srivastava is saying is there can't be different strokes for different folks. You want to respond to that? The yardstick has to be the same for all political parties. Okay, you made a point, Ravi Srivastava. Let General G.D. Bakshi respond to that. General G.D. Bakshi.
So you could not do that.
Are there different yardsticks being used for government and opposition over here?
Sir, in a war, it is customary for the political leadership to speak fully in support of their armed forces in a manner that raises their morale, in a manner that gives them recognition, and a manner that praises their bravery and enthuses them to give their best, even if it means their death. Right? There are people who are dying, sir. You are all staying very, very safe and secure in your homes. It is because of them. If those people are praised, whether by the political party or by the opposition, I don't see anything wrong.
Okay. Okay.
It should be done.
All right, I want to take this question. I want to take this question across to Ashutosh Mishra as well. Ashutosh Mishra.
People used to
Yes. One second, gentlemen. 1 second. I want to bring another guest as well. Ashutosh Mishra. The question is this: that less than 48 hours after the Air Force struck at Balkot, here is the statement of the 21 opposition parties. They came out to say that the meeting of 21 parties expressed their deep anguish over blatant politicization of sacrifices made by armed forces by leaders of the ruling party. National security must transcend narrow political considerations. The leaders observed that Prime Minister has regrettably not convened an all-party meeting as per the established practice in democracy. Now, is this something that is also correct? The Prime Minister today at Patna came out to question whether it is the united hate against Narendra Modi that is bringing them together to criticize the government even in such a moment of crisis. Could we have waited a little longer, as General G.D. Bakshi is saying, before coming out and completely lambasting the government on its performance as far as the armed forces is concerned, Ashutosh Mishra?
Yeah, so what I will say will answer General Bakshi's question also. First of all, when the Prime Minister of the country speaks like a Prime Minister, he will be respected like a Prime Minister. But when Mr. Modi starts speaking and promoting the agenda of Pakistan and the terrorist group, which is to undermine Indian democracy by weakening its root. And how is Mr. Modi doing it? Mr. Modi is doing it by calling all opposition parties and people who won't vote for BJP anti-national. He questions their loyalty to the nation. The whole nation is standing behind the armed forces. So General Bakshi shouldn't worry about that. And that includes all the opposition parties. They have been very clear on that. The point here is that Mr. Modi has turned this into an electoral bid. Is trying to use the armed forces action to try and paint the opposition as the bad guy, when it's not. It was Mr. Modi who was fiddling in Kashmir, and when was caught off guard. The Kashmir is in a mess, as pointed out by former Chief of Army Staff Mr. V.K. Singh, because of bad policies. And as soon as the armed forces were given a free hand, which were restrained by the political agenda of BJP, in fact, they have replied. And this conflict is not going to end anytime soon. So we cannot wait forever.
Ashutosh Mishra, I fail to understand your point here, because I think you're going around in circles. You're saying they've failed, they've succeeded. Ultimately, an attack like Pulwama happened. What do you expect the government's response would be to something like that?
Can I
The government response is not questioned. The armed forces is not questioned. What is being questioned is the politicization by Mr. Modi, who is trying to accuse anyone and everyone who opposes them as anti-India, which is unfair, and he is trying to claim credit.
I want Syed Zafar Islam to respond to that. Syed Zafar Islam, is it a fact that everyone who opposes this government is being brandished or is being painted with the same brush of being anti-India? Is that correct also? At the end of the day, the opposition parties say they have a right to talk about the role of this government and what this government has done or failed to do.
No, well, Madhav, let me make it very clear. They can question the Prime Minister, they can question the government, they can question all the ministers. They have full right. They can ask any question they want. They see if there is any of our schemes, any of the schemes announced by the government, and they see any loophole, any shortcomings. They have the right to pinpoint and make the government aware of it. But when on issues of national security, when the three important, whether Army Chief, Army senior officers of Army, Navy and Air Force have jointly did a press conference, and after the press conference they have clarified every single thing, including giving the proof as well. Yet they are being questioned, they are asking for proof. This is something which is really, you are going beyond a point, and that is something which is actually weakening the nation.
Please don't rely on nationality.
You are demoralizing the armed forces, you are demoralizing, and you are somehow compromising with the national interest and the national security of the country.
Who are peddling unverified reports, which even you were, in fact, were also repeating the same thing a while ago.
See, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you one thing.
As simple as that.
Let me tell you one thing. Whether it matters whether 350 or 450 or 4,000, what is important that the army has demonstrated valor, and they went inside the enemy's country and killed those whether it's 500, whether 550, it doesn't matter. They went inside the country, inside the enemy's country.
BJP in Kashmir.
That is important. That needs to be counted, not the number of bodies.
Taken the oath of chief minister.
We have never, the government has never claimed, we have not counted, but it is the media report that more than 350 people have been killed, more than 350 terrorists have been killed, because there as many numbers of terrorists used to be there. That's why there is a media report that many numbers have been killed, but we have not counted. What is important? That we have conducted air strike inside the enemy country. We went inside. That needs to be appreciated. That needs to be spoken about, and you should encourage. You should send a word of encouragement to the Navy, to our army, to the Indian Air Forces. But you will not do that. You will count. You will be questioning how many dead, how many terrorists have been killed. Is that important?
You haven't sacked him yet. Why hasn't he been sacked yet? Can you tell us?
Gentlemen, let me come in over here, because clearly, as I was mentioning over here, I don't want this to become a political slanging match. I want to quickly bring in Ravi Srivastava on this as well. Ravi Srivastava, ultimately the BJP is also charging the opposition parties with being irresponsible. Because opposition parties also, if they are so quick to rush into the criticism, they're so quick to issue statements less than 48 hours after the attack, it will certainly raise questions, and it has time and again been used by Pakistan, Ravi Srivastava.
They have issued statement only after the Minister of External Affairs Secretary, Foreign Secretary Mr. Vijay Gokhale came out and made a statement. Let the government give the statement that they say that there was we do not have any knowledge about the damage done. We are not aware of anything that happened over there. We made a strike and we came back. We don't know that what actually damage had
But
done.
aren't you questioning the armed forces itself when you say something like this, Ravi Srivastava? This is what I don't understand. What I don't understand, Ravi Srivastava, is when you say something like this, you're questioning the efficacy of your own country's Air Force, Ravi Srivastava. Don't you realize that? This is why I find this entire argument so bizarre. You can ask the government to come clean, but you're actually raising questions about the efficacy of your own Air Force. Is that what you want to do, Ravi Srivastava? Do you want to give a handle to Pakistan when you say that?
No, nothing. This is asking for a truth does not strengthen anybody's hands anyway.
Ask for the truth, sir. Ask for a commission of inquiry, find out. But you need to do that at a time when the two countries are facing such an uncertain future. In the peak of this crisis, is that what is required?
Madhav, if all kind of fake news is floating around, then people will definitely be suspicious.
Can I just come in for 10 seconds,
all
please?
Kind of fake news is floating around. All kind of fabricated news is floating around. People have a right to question.
Okay, General Bakshi wants to come in on this. General Bakshi, I want you to respond to this, because he says that there are all sorts of versions. We just want to find out the truth. Should that be the priority of anyone who is concerned about India's interest?
Look, in every war, my friend, there are rumors that spread. There are wild rumors that spread. You know, Para Brigade has landed here, but there are SSG all over. Wild rumors spread. Please don't start asking the people who are fighting to stop and start doing courts of inquiries for you. Let them fight. After that, you can. You see, in 62, in 65, in 71, when the war was there, you know, people used to be standing at railway platforms to give free chai to the Jawans. Instead of that, today, sir, we are getting abused, we are getting reviled, we have heard rumors then also. Please understand that there is a time and place for everything.
Sir, nobody
when the war is on, you don't start asking people, please stop your war, I want a court of inquiry.
Nobody is questioning the army.
Oh, sir, आप और किसको कह रहे हो? किसने briefing दी थी आपको?
It is the government who has to tell the truth, and the government is not coming out with the truth.
briefing दी थी?
What is the fact?
Army, Navy.
The government has to tell that.
यार,
we are not.
आप सुन लो ना.
We are behind army. Nation is behind army. Everybody is behind army. But we want the government to respond.
So, sir. Okay, sir. Did you hear the spokesman of the Army, the Navy and the Air Force? One Major General, one Air Vice Marshal, one Rear Admiral. Did they not give a briefing to the press? You don't trust that, sir?
Respond to that, Ravi Srivastava. You don't trust the men in uniform?
What they are saying and what is being published, what is being shown is at variance. That is what I am saying.
So you will obviously go by what is being said by the men in uniform, Ravi Srivastava.
The media is on a variance.
No, there may be different reports.
Sir,
there may be different reports. Does that mean you question the government repeatedly on the different reports?
We are not responsible for what the Washington Post or the Pakistani press writes, sir. Every war they have written reams of
I am not
nonsense.
talking about Pakistani press.
Reams of
I am
lies.
talking about Washington Post, New York Times,
Sir,
Guardian,
the American
Reuters.
press is
I am
not
talking
the
about
Indian
those
press,
agencies
sir.
who are independent.
हाँ,
The
तो Reuters का
BBC,
मैं क्या करूं,
those
sir?
people, Al Jazeera.
We are
I am
supposed
talking
to
about
now
them.
shoot our
I am
soldiers.
not talking about the
okay.
Pakistan media.
Okay,
Pakistan
sir,
media
can I
will be
answer?
biased. We
Sir,
know
can
that.
I answer? Sir, foreign presses have their agendas. Now do we start lining our soldiers against the wall to shoot them because Al Jazeera has said this, Reuters has said this, or BBC has said that? Are they always right? Don't they have information warfare campaigns? And they pretend to be friendly, but I'm afraid many times we have realized they are not. It is an F-16, sir, which has killed and which has shot down a MiG-21. So are the Americans, what should we call them
Sir,
now, sir?
that's a great
Our greatest
achievement.
friends?
What I am saying is that this is a time of technology. The world is running on technology. The things are visible from the satellite. Everything, every inch of the land can be seen from 5,000, 10,000 kilometers. So it is not that difficult now.
Let this
the
war
fact
be
can
over.
always be shown.
Sir, let this conflict be over. Then you can take to task anybody in a democracy.
What's the urgency?
But by and large,
what's the urgency, Ravi Srivastava?
Officers and gentlemen are not supposed to tell lies.
This is not a war. Sir, this is not a war. This is going on every day. After Pulwama, also 10 more Jawans have died.
Every day, sir.
After Pulwama, also 10 more Jawans have died.
Yes, sir.
So it is
and they should keep dying, sir.
It is not that a war.
Sir. Can I please come in?
Ravi Srivastava.
Okay, sir.
Ravi Srivastava, I think your statements are bizarre today.
Can I answer that?
Okay, well, quick response from General GD Bakshi, because I find Ravi Srivastava's line of argument absolutely bizarre.
Take this campaign to the next level.
What is bizarre?
So that it stops.
What is bizarre?
There you don't want to, sir. You want to hold inquiries against our soldiers.
Ravi Srivastava, I think your entire line of argument that there is foreign media reporting something, you don't want to believe what Indian media is reporting, you want to believe what Pakistan media is reporting. Why don't you trust your national media, sir? And also at the same time, at a time of crisis like this, is this what opposition really should be doing? You're welcome to oppose, you're welcome to question, but not when the two countries are in the midst of such a huge crisis. Is ultimately everything about elections is my question to you. Because it certainly appears from the statements coming in from big opposition leaders that it is all about politics. It is all about votes.
Madhav, in huge crisis, listen, in huge crisis, the apps are launched. The rallies are done every day. The tamasha is happening every day. And you say there is a war.
No, my question to you, sir, is this. Does that mean that you claim credit for Abhinandan also? Does that mean you should start claiming credit for Abhinandan?
And inaugurations are done.
Does that mean that leaders should come out and claim credit that Abhinandan was commissioned as an officer during our regime? That's what is required. Or whether it is 300 or 350, that should be clarified. Is that the priority of the opposition parties also? I have questioned the government. I have questioned our leaders like Manoj Tiwari who have been strutting around in a uniform. I have asked them, is he a commando? But the question is, opposition also has to be responsible at the same time, Ravi Srivastava.
Opposition is responsible. Opposition is behind the army. Nothing is happening. But what the ruling party and the government is doing is bizarre. That is not acceptable.
Okay, I want the ruling party spokesperson to respond to that. All right, let Syed Zafar Islam respond to that. Syed Zafar Islam, the question that Ravi Srivastava is asking is this. There are multiple reports that there are radar images, SAR images that are available of the before and after of what happened at that point of time. Why does the government not come out and set the record straight once and for all, so that these kinds of statements that are coming from opposition parties are completely put to rest? It's in the hands of the government, Syed Zafar Islam. Why not make it public?
I think all the opposition parties, they must listen to the opposition leaders and the ruling party's spokesperson and the leaders in Pakistan. They were saying, "Khauf mein hum hain." They have conducted airstrike in our own territory. They came inside our country. Listen to me, Ravi Srivastava. You can demoralize our army. These people have acknowledged where our armed forces, our navy, our air forces have conducted airstrike. They went inside the enemy territory. They are acknowledging it, but you are not. It doesn't matter how many people have been killed. It is the demonstration of capability.
Gentlemen, I think this is a bizarre situation that our country is in at this moment. Our politicians, while elections are out the corner, are only doing what they do best, politicizing every action. But the unfortunate reality is that it is the actions, it is the bravado, it is the valor of our armed forces that is unfortunately being politicized today in India. And certainly, of course, all citizens, when they go to cast their ballot in a few months from now, will remember or should remember which political leaders have done this and whether these are the kind of leaders that India really needs to have. I thank you so much for joining us on the News Hour Special Edition.